Well, hello there. Look at you, look at you, look at you. You're on the Clark the Shark show where I'm going to talk about maybe one of the greatest albums ever recorded. I don't know. The jury is kind of like, 12 Angry Men. They're like, how could you put this David Bowie album in there with Led Zeppelin? And I'm like, hey, I'm Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone. And believe you me, baby, I know David Bowie like no one. I know every fucking album by Frank Zappa, and I know every album by David Bowie. Dude, fuck it. I know everything about everything. You name a topic, brain surgery, microbiology, recycling. Sharky's the fucking expert right here at 1-800-449-8255. It doesn't matter what it is. When you're on the Clark the Shark show from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, and I'm running my yap, I fucking know what I'm talking about, baby. And when it comes to David Bowie, oh man, I know this here album is fucking amazing, you guys. Hunky Dory, 1971. Now let's frame the picture here, you guys. We all know 1971 with Led Zeppelin 4, The Who, Who's Next, The Stones, Sticky Fingers, Aqualung, and Yes album, and damn, dude, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and there's just a lot of great shit, man. Frank Zappa, 1971, dude, an incredible year for music. And David Bowie was still relatively new to the game. Still kind of an unknown, even though he'd really been around for a long time. I mean, Bowie goes back to 1966, 65, 64, where people knew about him. But of course, that 1969 album with Space Oddity and all, you could argue The Man Who Sold the World is the breakthrough, but I think it was that 1969 album that I love. I love all those songs on that album. I even love all the non-album singles or non-album music that's just sporadically recorded by Bowie throughout the 1960s. And I even like that first album by Bowie. It's so silly, weird, and irreverent. It's like the sense of humor that I wish Frank Zappa would have had. I mean, Frank Zappa had a fucking hell of a sense of humor, but he didn't have like that sense of irony or irreverent nonsense like David Bowie did on the first David Bowie album, 1967. But of course, David Bowie would grow his sound over the years, you guys. And he was poking around, looking for that big song. And he found it, with Space Oddity and many of the tracks on The Man Who Sold the World. But he was still looking for that big, big song. And, that big, big album. And all of a sudden, right here, 1971, it appears. David Bowie, Hunky Dory. Just incredible situation here. This album should get all 5 stars. I'm just going to call it right now. Released December, very late 1971. But this is a very advanced sounding album. It's not going to be from 1970 or early 71. I mean, it's got ideas on it that are just, fuck. Just good. Oh, there's Ken Scott. Just good, solid meat and potatoes David Bowie songs, but then great, big songs are here on this album. It's going to get 5 stars. I mean, Rolling Stone better give this 5 stars. You guys, come on. They will. I mean, and there's the stars, and you know, it's a 5 stars, baby. Of course, there's one or two reviews. The Chicago Tribune and Classic Rock give it 4.5. Well, you know, I'll accept 4.5. That's pretty good. You know, um, it's David Bowie, you guys, and right away on side one, you know, you're greeted by one of the greatest songs ever in rock and roll music. Changes, incredible song, all 337 of it. And this song is quite a bit ahead of its time, you guys. Sounding like the late 70s or maybe even the 80s. Changes. Hard to believe this thing came out in 1971. It almost has like a new wave, or I don't know, like a punk vibe, or modern rock, like K-rock or something type of vibe in 1971. It's way ahead of things, people. And it really represented a change in sound for David Bowie. This whole album is tight and precise. It's nothing like The Man Who Sold the World. That album is loose. It's very heavy rock. You know, it's all over the place. But this album, Bowie tightens it up. And this album is very concise, precise, you name it. It's very atmospheric. I mean, this thing takes you on a mental journey. And oh, you pretty things. You love Sharky out there, you pretty things, you. What a song. Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know you're driving your Sharky insane? Yeah, you are, man. Oh, you pretty things. What a song. I fucking love Oh, You Pretty Things. Awesome. An 8-line poem. Interesting little thing where Bowie's like talking about a cat, like, oh, the cat puts a face between her paws. There's like a mobile spinning in the room, and I love it. 8-line poem. You know, it really captures an atmosphere and frames a little picture. That's what Bowie does all his career, though. He's genius that way. But with Life on Mars, a song that's only 3:43, but you would swear Life on Mars is 7 or 8 minutes long. It is such an epic journey, incredible song, and yet it's packed tight like a hit single almost. Life on Mars and Changes, both under 4 minutes. Incredible songs, you guys. Bowie is on the next level with this album. Everybody had to sit up and look at this and go, wow, who is this David Bowie guy? This is amazing. An album that came out, when I was in first grade in Torrance, California, December 71. Man, I was just 6 years old when this album comes out, but I remember it growing up, my older brothers playing this or just hearing it on the radio or wherever through my life. And all these songs, they mean so much to me. And of course, Kooks, which could be about me, yours truly, Clark the Shark. What an incredible acoustic driven, awesome song. Only 2:53. I kind of wish it was longer, but it's a great song. Kooks, it's so melodic, atmospheric. It's just a great sound. I love those 3 songs. Changes, Life on Mars, Kooks. But Oh, You Pretty Things, man, it's all good. Now, Quicksand, the 5-minute and 8-second song where Bowie starts telling one of his stories, he's talking about Himmler and Hitler and Mussolini and, Churchill and Oxford. It's just this poem he's weaving, you're falling into the quicksand of atheism, and you're doubting Christianity, you're doubting atheism, you're doubting existence, you're just confused, like we all are, just slipping into the abyss of quicksand. What a song, man. Side one of this has to be one of the most incredible sides to any rock album in history. This isn't even rock. This is like classical music narrated by a fucking mad genius, mad cat. A madcap of a man like Syd Barrett, but way beyond. David Bowie. What a genius, lyricist, poet. Oh, man, this guy's just a muse. He is his own muse, you guys. Incredible, David Bowie. Fill Your Heart. Now, side two is like, I wouldn't say it's better than side one, but in many ways, on many levels, it's like more interesting. You know, it's like, fill your heart with love today. Don't play the game of time. Things that happened in the past only happened in Shark's mind. Fill Your Heart. Awesome. 307. Great shit. It couldn't be on the radio. It's too good. It's too busy. It's too chunky and weird and lots of shit going on. But whatever, man. I love it. You know, Bowie is just a storyteller. Magical genius. And Andy Warhol, what a song. 356. Now, you know that one goes on the radio, baby. Great shit. I love Andy Warhol. What a song. What an album. And of course, the hilarious, irreverent song for Bob Dylan, where he's like, I got one for Robert Zimmerman. From the brow of the super brain. He's talking about a super brain. Bob Dylan, almost like he's bloody Clark the Shark from GE or something. And 1-800-449-8255 is just the brow of a super brain. He writes poetry, poems. The song for Bob Dylan. It's almost like Bowie's making fun of Bob Dylan and Andy Warhol. And yet he's not. He's like making fun of people who make fun of Andy Warhol and Bob Dylan, or maybe not. You know, you're just not sure. You're completely confused. It's almost like you're like, huh? Well, Bowie, does he hate these guys? Or you don't even know, man, but you don't even fucking care because you love this album. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone, where they love Sharky everywhere. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Earth, Uranus, especially on Uranus. They fucking love Clark the Shark, and they love Queen Bitch, track number 4, side 2, 318. What a song. There's no Rick Wakeman on this one. It's a little punk rock, new wave fucking thing that's way ahead of its time, you guys. Iggy Pop, Eat Your Heart Out. Queen Bitch. It's a song like about a male lesbian or something. I don't even fucking know, dude. Like either a woman trapped in a man's body or a man trapped in a woman's body. Queen Bitch. What a fucking song. You know, this was just where Bowie goes to Ziggy Stardust right there on that song, you guys. Track number 4, side 2. Amazing. The way ahead of its time, Queen Bitch. Probably the best song in the whole album. Maybe not as melodic or atmospheric as it could have been, but you don't want it that way, baby. You want it just the way it is. Just like a fucking Queen Bitch. Awesome. Awesome song. But the best and greatest song on this whole entire album is probably track 5, side 2, the Brûlé Brûlé Brothers. Brûlé. I don't even care. I love this song. Sort of like Quicksand, Bowie starts like another one of his narration where he's just talking about, you don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He just goes deep with poetry and like he's talking to himself into a mirror, like his own muse, like Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255. But what a song, man. Probably my favorite song on the whole album. Number 5, the Boulay Brothers. I don't know why I call it the Brule Brothers. I don't know, but I get shit wrong on here. I can't help it, you guys. And then you guys email me. And then some kid that was born in 2007 is like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know David Bowie, bro. I was born in 2007, and I know Bowie, dude. I've been listening to Bowie since I was in 7th grade, bro. And you don't know David Bowie, dude. You don't even know about the Boulay Brothers. And I'm like, kid, I love you, man. You're trying to do reviews. You're trying to carve out your path. You're trying to stake your claim and make a stand in this world. But baby, it's just a grandstand that ain't going to work against Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255 from that fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone, the Wolfman Jack on crack from the excellence in Sharky broadcasting. It's hopeless, kid. Don't even write me an email because you're up against the master of disaster. You're up against a warrior that's been listening to David Bowie since 1969 when I was 4 years old. So I don't care if you're a genius and you were born in 2002 and you know all about the Killers and Modest Mouse. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that weak shit, man. Dude, I'm into David Bowie, and I fucking know more about David Bowie than you will ever know, kid. But I commend you for trying, bro. I commend you for trying to review albums. Even if you're 15 years old today, I don't care. Dude, go for it. But you gotta have life passion, dude. Life experiences. You gotta have people who hate you. People who pick on you, no friends, dude. If you don't got that fucking shit, you don't know rock and roll. If you're good looking and tall, dude, you're fucking canceled. You got to be an ugly, worthless piece of shit that people hate. And only then will you understand David Bowie and this amazing album, Hunky Dory, 1971. With this band, all these guys, Mick Ronson, Trevor Bolder, who was later in Uriah Heep. Oh, yeah. All these guys. These are a lot of the people that played on that sloppy album before this, but it's not really sloppy. It's like calculated heavy rock. Everything David Bowie does is calculated. It's not really spontaneous, and yet there's like a spontaneity to David Bowie that no one else has. It's just a miracle of amazing, you guys. But then, of course, the Spiders from Mars would largely make up these guys, except Rick Wakeman, who, of course, went on to play with Yes and Fragile. But what a band, the Spiders from Mars, especially Mick Ronson and Trevor Bolder. And I love this drummer. He's so tight. Mick Woodmansey, great drummer. I love the Spiders from Mars, who I am going to review Ziggy Stardust, you guys. I might review that album next. I swore I was going to review, yes, Fragile with Rick Wakeman. Or maybe, who knows, dude. I want to review that other album by fucking The Music Machine, because I've been listening to that one. Not that the first one's incredible, but that next one, dude, I'm telling all you little kids out there, you think you're a reviewer on YouTube, and you're 21 years old, and it's 2023, dude, and you were born in 2002, and you think you know more than Clark the Shark, or you think you know about the Beatles, or you think you know about the Stones, or you think you know about Van Halen, or you think you know, dude, you don't fucking know, dude, but I'm glad you're trying to know. I'm glad, bro. And in this world today, it's going to be tough because all the politically correct liberalism is canceling out a lot of childhoods, and turning people into these liberal robots. And even Fox News, turns people into these redneck Trump robots on the other side. Everybody's a fucking robot. You're either a robot with a Bible or without one. But either way, you're just a fucking empty robot. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. But Clark the Shark ain't no fucking robot, people. Because I know about this band, baby. The Spiders from Mars. David Bowie, Hunky Dory. 1971, ahead of its time. Atmospheric, melodic, incredible album. I would have to say this is one of the greatest albums of all time, you guys. Definitely it is up there in the top 15. Who's Next? Led Zeppelin 4, Led Zeppelin 1, The Beatles' Rubber Soul, The Beatles' White Album, Sgt. Pepper, The Stones' Beggar's Banquet and Let It Bleed, David Bowie, Hunky Dory, you know, David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and The Man Who Sold the World, and Low, and dude, Young Americans, all of them, Station to Station. They're all fucking killer, man. But Hunky Dory, to me, Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous, amazing golden EIB Sharkerphone. For me, it's not a microphone, you guys. It's a Sharkerphone. Because I only speak into a fabulous golden EIB excellence in broadcasting Sharkerphone. And when I'm talking about David Bowie, Hunky Dory, dude, Hunky fucking Dory, 1971. I'm talking about one of the most amazing, greatest albums that was ever recorded. Very much respected, revered. Man, it gets the 3 R's: regard, respect, reverement from everyone. And in particular from me, Clark the Shark. David Bowie, Hunky Dory, melodic, atmospheric. It tells a story. It tells many stories. It takes you on a mental journey. And this was only the beginning, you guys, for after this. David Bowie, I don't know if he'd ever get better than this, but he would be equal to this all the time, you guys. The Berlin Trilogy, everything. He never lets you down. Never. David Bowie, you guys. But I don't think he has an album better than this one, 1971, Hunky Dory. When you buy this album, wherever you go, you tell them you heard it from Clark the Shark, from GE, and you said, damn it, you guys, I heard Clark the Shark say buy this fucking album by David Bowie, and now I want to buy it. And when you buy this, dude, you play this thing serious and you listen to it. Don't smoke weed. Don't drop acid. Don't eat mushrooms. Fuck all that shit. Frank Zappa never did a drug in his life, you guys. Fuck drugs. Fuck alcohol too. Fuck it all. Fuck weed. Just drink coffee and listen to David Bowie, Hunky Dory. I want you guys to keep a promise to me, Clark the Shark. You're going to live to be 100. I don't know what's going right with me. I got cancer, but I'm still alive. And I'm still reviewing right here on the Clark the Shark Show. I think the good Lord, or whatever it is up there, some UFO wants me to keep reviewing. So I'm going to keep on doing it, you guys. I'm going to dig deep and go for some 60s underground shit. I might as well. You know, but I love the 70s, and I love these albums by Bowie. I love them, you guys. There's not much a better album in the 1970s than Hunky Dory. I'm Clark the Shark. You just heard the word, the gospel, the testimony, the groove, baby, from a Sharky. 1-800-449-8255. David Bowie, Hunky Dory. Buy this album at Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, everywhere, Napster, I don't care where. And you tell them a Sharky sent you. I'm out here. VR.